Hey guys, Maniac here. Now in my last video I mentioned that an arcade stick for the PC would probably help us enjoy Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection a bit more, and it got us thinking about really wanting to build my own MAME controller. Now I've got a few arcade sticks already and I thought it'd be good to take a look at them and talk about the good points and try and come up with an idea of what my MAME arcade stick would end up like. So first up, I've got this tiny little arcade stick for the Super Nintendo by ASCII. First things first, this is just too small to be anything like my MAME controller because it's basically the size of my hand. Just far too small. The buttons on it aren't great. The control stick isn't great either. It does have turbo features, which I do like the idea of, because for shoot 'em ups and stuff you can just hold the button rather than having to absolutely hammer the thing. So something like this just isn't good enough for a MAME controller, so if I was to build one it would not end up anything like this. Sticking with ASCII, I've got this giant PlayStation arcade stick. This is a lot better. Absolutely massive. I can rest both my hands on it at the same time and not have to worry about like edges digging into my wrists or whatever, and the controls are great. Now the control stick clicks in the different directions, which is always a good thing. You can really feel that it's like going in the direction that you want it to. The buttons, not bad, a little bit stiff, but this is a bit more in the direction that I would go with a MAME controller. So I do actually own an arcade stick that I can use on PC, and that is this thing by Logic 3. Now it's not great, it's not perfect, but it's not bad either. I got it about 5 years ago for a birthday present, and I used it probably for about 2 years when I was really into my MAME. The buttons aren't great on it, but they're not bad either. And like I say, I did use it for about 2 years, so it was good enough to use. But looking at this, I can learn from it and think of what I wouldn't do on my MAME controller. So first up, it's a bit too small and a bit too straight edged. It does have this rest on the bottom for your wrists, but I would prefer it to be across the bottom and a bit bigger in general. So it does have a few strong points and a few weaknesses, so I think I could learn a lot from this when building my own controller. I find this next arcade stick to be quite similar to the PC one, and that is this Fighting Stick 3 by Hori. Now this also has a USB connection, but for some reason I just can't get it to work on my PC. I thought it would have been a straight forward plug and play kind of thing. Windows would recognize it and it would work just fine, but it just doesn't want to work. So this is for the PlayStation 3 and I've only used it a little bit. It's not too bad. The controls do click again, which is always a good thing. The buttons are a little bit better. These Hori ones usually use authentic arcade parts. I don't know which make these are, but they're usually either Sanwa or Saimatsu. So this stick has a lot of weight to it. It's nice and big. It is a pretty decent arcade stick. It's just a shame that I can't use it on my PC and just pretty much have this for MAME. This is near enough close to what I would be going for. So next I've got the Dreamcast arcade stick. Now the colours I'm not too keen on, but that's always something I can change. So green, out the window. So you probably know that the Dreamcast can run copied discs, and this is great for the homebrew community because you know that the discs are going to work without having to mod the system itself. There's a lot of homebrews out there, a lot of side-scrolling shooters, and there is a few like compilation discs of arcade games there, which is where this bad boy comes in. So it's great for beat 'em ups running on the Beats of Rage engine, and there's a lot of other arcade style games out there for it already. So this can be used with the Dreamcast itself as some kind of little MAME machine. So you don't really need a PC powered MAME machine, but that's what I'm going for. So this is something I can't really use, but it is a great stick nonetheless. So last up is this Tatsunoko vs Capcom arcade stick by Mad Catz for the Wii. Now this is a great arcade stick, and a lot of the Mad Catz releases for the last generation of consoles have been very similar to this. They've all been very similar dimensions, and I'm guessing the same buttons used, just different colour schemes. It's a nice big arcade stick, which is always a great thing. It's nice and weighted, which is another bonus point. And it also has a slight dip towards the front for where you rest the palms of your hands. So this is pretty much what I would build my MAME controller like, but I think it is a tiny little bit too thick but that's probably because of all the wiring on the inside, so that's probably something I'm going to have to deal with. The Wii is really easy to mod, so you could use the Wii as the core of your MAME cabinet and just add all your arcade emulators and whatnot to it. I'm not 100% sure if I can use this, but I know you can use the Wii controllers on PC, so this is something I'm going to have to look into, see if I can use this on the PC, because it will just save us a whole lot of time, since my MAME controller would probably end up something like this. So those are all my arcade sticks. Now if I was to build a MAME controller, it would probably be most like the Tatsunoko arcade stick for the Wii. Now it would be great if I could find a way to get that working on PC. I've got a little idea of how to do that, so I'm going to have to try that out at some time. It would save us a lot of hassle if I can get that working, save us a lot of money, jobs are good. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you have, because it makes me feel a lot better on the inside. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video.